We'll get started, and I'm sure people will wonder, and it's pretty obvious where we are. So, the Age-Friendly Community Initiative had this great thought that we would talk about topics in the community, and this is our first, and we hope it grows from here, and it's great to have people that I know are really interested in food. So, I suspect not everybody knows everyone's name. So I'll start, we'll go around, and then we have three wonderful facilitators here today, whom probably you all know. Meryl, Kelly, and Dave Bean, and Bonnie Cooley. So if I start, we'll end up with Meryl, and then you guys can start. So I'm Nancy Davis with the Age-Friendly Community Initiative.
And I'm Charlie Raymond with the Age-Friendly Community.
And I'm Charlie Reese with the Age-Friendly Community.
The Charlies.
I'm not Charlie.
Bob
Wickle, I'm on the board.
Karen Bean, and I'm with the board.
Brooks Morton, Western Hills Access Television.
Great.
Steve White, I'm the community collaborator. I just go everywhere.
That's really accurate. I'm Kate Goldberg and work at Healthy Extra Hills as a SNAP nutrition educator. I'm Katina Columbotis, I'm here with AS1.
I'm Brenda Blonde and I'm here with Brenda Blonde.
No, you have a Grace note.
But Brenda,
Grace note in.
yes, that's what I was going to say. Tie yourself to that.
And food, and growing food.
That's right.
And I'm Bonnie Cooley. And you want to just, and then I'll start.
I'm Dave Dean.
I'm Meryl Kelly.
All right.
We're here to talk about food, specifically healthy local food, and connecting all of us to the challenge of making sure that our local Western Maine residents all have the opportunity to eat healthy local food. This conversation has been going on, Meryl was trying to remember, way back when we started. Yeah, at least 12, with Amy Scott, just bringing people together in a circle to talk about food and to talk about the issues of food. And then Meryl, this is when Local Food Connection got a little more formal, and Meryl was our executive, coordinator person for a couple of years. And then I took over that role from Meryl, and I've been there a couple of years through the pandemic. And so here we are back again. Meanwhile, you all know Dave and I are connected, he says 24 years. Around various issues, including the English language, and so it's a passion for all three of us, and all three of us have a different perspective on that passion and different goals that we're trying to accomplish, but they all come to that one, healthy local food for local people. And I thought about this, I could go way up into the stratosphere and look at all the world problems that are affecting our food supply and how this issue is going to become more and more desperate as time goes by. But I'm not going to do that because you all know, and it's a sad, sad situation. But that's all the more reason to focus on healthy local food so that our community, in the broader sense, is able to access food. And so that's what I'm all about. I've been bringing this poster for quite a while. Healthy local food. Down here is the Local Food Connection. And years ago I tried to list all the people and organizations that we were trying to connect in order to see the full picture of local food, and that includes, yeah, there you are, food pantry at the bottom, because I forgot about you. Our local farmers, who are amazing and wonderful.
It took a long time to get them to come together, as I remember.
Well, they don't come together a lot. They want to be reached out to, and because they're busier than anyone. Yes. Farmers markets, we're connecting well. Community gardens are beginning to sprout up. GGHC is Gardeners Growing Healthy Communities, which is a nonprofit who has a big garden in South Paris. If you've ever driven by it, it looks like a graveyard that got flooded and all the graves came up. It's raised beds so that everyone can garden there, and they give out their food through the Second Congregational Church down in South Paris. Then there's the Rumford Garden, which I'm a part of, which has a pretty huge garden next to Hosmer Field, and we give our food out in Rumford to people in need, and Peru, and a couple other places. That's GGHC. Of course, I'm on the board of that. Boondocks Buying
You should
Club.
just say the ones who are not on the board.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
on the
that
board.
way a quicker story.
Boondocks Buying Club is a wonderful, small organization. Could be bigger if you like this idea. We order online, and we order, our food comes from Crown of Maine, mostly Maine, and local farmers. We have local farmers and local businesses like Nice Spice listing on our order. Every 2 weeks we order, and in conjunction with the farmers market, we pick up the food that we ordered.
The Greenwood Farmers.
Yes, oh, sorry, yes, Greenwood. So if you want to find out more about Boondocks, please ask. The Food Atlas is an effort that is in transition right now, trying to get the whole state of Maine what's going on in all these different places and who's growing what and how can we find them. It's a monumental task, and right now it's in transition, and I'm not going to talk about it because it's a struggle. Edible Bethel was Amanda Moran, and that has kind of morphed since Amanda and Meryl. Oh, sorry. And so I'm not sure where Edible Bethel will be for this year because the pandemic made it so we couldn't go and pick the little cherry tomatoes.
We're kind of transitioning for the
North Star. Yeah, the North Star kids are kind of taking that over and providing food in that one place as opposed to all over town. The Gem Theater has been a cooperator from the beginning, showing movies based on food that people come to, and that's where we raise a lot of enthusiasm for the organization. And finally, the Eddy School is making films about our local farms. They're working right now on Morning Glory Farm, and at some point that should be done. The pandemic got in the way, of course. Then the reason I brought this, and I'm talking too long, I know, I'm going to stop really soon. Okay, it connects up to the main network of community food councils, which I'm on the lead team for that, of course, and that group is food councils all over the state. So we share what we're doing. We are the smallest by far, but Lewiston Auburn has one, Bangor has one, Portland used to have one.
You don't have one?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Anyway,
they had a big one.
they did, and they don't. So this is connections. Well, I called this a network of networks because there's so many networks about food right now. And I'm going to stop there because there's a million more things to tell you about. And Dave's food pan, oh no, Meryl. Meryl is next.
I wanted to say one thing about the Food Connection. You have a fiscal sponsor,
We do, and it's Bob.
which is us.
Bob specifically.
So we are happy to be their fiscal
Yes,
sponsor.
thank you very much.
Because they get good grant money.
We're an easy job, right, Bob?
Easy.
And can I just say something about Edible Bethel, is that
yeah,
there's
please.
a share table there, and so if people have abundance in their garden, they can put it there, and if you post, like, on Team Bethel, it is gone. You know, like, I put a bunch of cherries, and so, just so you know that that's kind of a self-service.
And do we know that's still gonna operate this
I
summer?
haven't,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
It's-
I
I mean, that's
trust
part
them.
of what the North Star kids did too, is they picked and.
It's the one at the library.
Well,
The
there's
library is Susan Day, and she, I don't know.
I
So
don't
where
know
is
either.
where is this?
Oh, this is at, where,
Now those used to be.
It's-
Okay, now I know.
Creative
All right.
photography.
There you go.
where the garage used to be.
Okay, Meryl, it's all you.
All right, where should I start? I guess I'll start with Lindsay, because she was supposed to be here, but she couldn't quite make it, so talk about the North Star Garden. They just got a grant to put a well in at their garden, so that will be a big game changer. Thank you, Sarah Salcom, for letting them use her property. So they'll have their own water source, which means they'll really be able to ramp up what they're doing at that garden. Like both Kate and Bonnie were saying, you can still pick up food at that formerly Navos, formerly Community Garden space.
And
And drop off.
And drop off, yep. And I've done seedlings too, people like that.
yes.
So you can do seedlings, seeds, whatever you want to do. And then the garden itself is on Summer Street, which is kind of right behind, across from where the old funky red barn was, now the modern barn.
And
Could you-
raised beds, they're doing raised beds.
Yeah, raised beds until they can figure out what the soil is really like there. They don't really want to mess with it until they know for sure.
Tennis lawn.
Could you talk about their outreach, because I think, when I talked with Lindsay, I think last summer, they were really working on, doing as much of it as they could to take to, older adults that need food.
Yeah, so she does take like direct communications from whomever, and they will deliver vegetables. They're also doing some stuff with local restaurants. I know Sav and Elise signed up and have done cooking classes with older adults before, and I think they want to do kids this time around. Not sure if they'll do the older adults again, but I don't know. You know how Lindsay is. She
Well,
keeps it going.
I mean,
Lindsay wants to do cooking classes.
No, Lindsay wants Sav and Elise to do cooking classes with the kids.
Oh.
Lindsay will bring them.
And I also hopefully, I talked to Lindsay. doing
Yeah,
a
perfect.
class
I think
with her.
she's thinking the more the merrier.
Kate, to do classes with North Star kids, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, we'd love to support however we can what is happening with that, because that's really pretty cool.
It is cool.
So like if you want publicity, or if Lindsay wants publicity for what they're doing, I'm happy to do that, or
I'll let her know.
sometimes driving, I guess. But I guess she's set on that, I'm not sure.
Transportation is a
Always an issue.
yeah, of getting kids to town.
Well, they have a van, don't they?
Yeah, like I'm trying to partner with her on the day that she does the gardening, and she says she picks them up. But, you know, I was hoping to get the kids
To different times.
fill their tummies before they go to the garden, and so, yeah, whether that, yeah, anyway, so we might have to work.
I'm not sure that our rides program could fit into that slot, but it could get older people there if that's, you know, it would fit into the scheme. But I don't know how that would work. I mean,
The
you
problem
know,
with carrying kids around, if you just have one adult.
Yeah.
pardon?
You only have one adult, excuse me, one adult. You can't carry a cart with kids.
Right, right.
We've been doing it a little bit with the North Star program with the Handy Neighbors. Charlie has been vetted, I will soon be vetted. And we're able to actually drive a carload of kids or a pickup truck full of kids to these different jobs we're going to.
That's a little training, Lindsay told me I'd be approved for the van.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, that's good.
So that's
So that could build.
anyone here or anyone
yeah, that would be.
in the company. that
Like
wants to
awesome,
volunteer
you guys.
can do it.
The program's
Got a list.
I don't want to steal any thunder, but I have money so I can feed them. So that would be great if you could get
What, when are the kids going to the garden?
them Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays?
Yeah,
Afternoon, after school?
after school and then in the afternoons in the summer, I think she said 2 o'clock.
And are they starting now?
They've been,
Yeah, they have a bunch of seedlings and trees. I think they bought a bunch of trees with their grant money as well. So they have a lot of stuff ready to go in. They were just in a little bit of a transition panic for a second because they thought they might have to move the garden. But turned out okay. Exercise story.
Also, if you ever need a pickup truck or a box truck, mine is available. So,
Write that
keep
down.
that in mind.
Yeah.
Charlie and I, we'll put a budget.
Charlie.
Lindsay
Charlie
Charlie.
team.
The Charlie have a box
The
truck.
Charlie R
She's
team.
very good at using resources. Once you tell her that you're available and you're willing to help,
Yeah.
she's excellent.
So another couple things that I've been doing is I started a Facebook page called Food Sovereign Bethel. Originally, it was supposed to be just Bethel, but that has changed drastically. It is a very wide area now. And it's pretty much doing everything agriculture. So they're talking about events that are going on at farms. When the farm stands open, I'll definitely do stuff like that. And then I have these resources available as like click on Google Docs. I have copies over there, but the one that's the area food resources is cut off. So if you want a copy, I can just send it to you digitally if you want to give me your.
Oh, so shall I just pass them for them to look at, because you don't have copies available, right?
Right there.
They're right over there.
Oh, they are?
But you can pass them because I don't think, I mean, if
Okay.
somebody wants.
And
That.
from my perspective,
Yeah.
this was an incredible amount of work, and I'm
Thank you.
so grateful that Meryl did it, because this, all of a sudden, it's all in one place, and you have no excuse not to eat local food.
There's so many options.
Meryl,
Now
did you
you
put
know
all
where to
this
get
in
it.
our resource directory?
Most of that is in the resource
Okay.
directory, yes.
Maybe it'd be a good time to mention that. We have, AFCI has had a resource directory for 6 years now. Put a lot of energy into it, and actually Kelly was still here, I commented on her, she did some of the printing to get it into the printed form. But anyway, it sat not updated for a long time, and Meryl has done a great job, and Katina helped to update it. So we are really looking for ways to use that resource directory, and this stuff is in it, plus a ton of other stuff. So people have ideas of how, we don't have printed copies because it's too hard to keep it updated, and it'd be wickedly expensive.
Yeah,
as well.
this is just the food, so
Yeah,
there's what,
yeah.
18 categories on the resource
but
directory.
yeah,
Minimum.
yeah. Okay.
Kind of forgot what I was talking about.
There's some behind you, but,
Oh, and I'm supposed to be
So yeah, the
but I
only
thought
difference
maybe
between
you
that and the
wanted to look at
resource
it.
directory is this will have some stuff in
Yeah,
our way
that's all right.
effort in it as well. Particularly like food pantry and like services that people can reach out to for like food security issues.
This is amazing. This,
So is it going to be on your Facebook?
It is.
It
Both
is?
are pinned right at the top, along with my dinners because I'm a self-plugging human. Yeah, of course.
Are we gonna talk about that? Or
I'm sorry.
is
The
somebody gonna
dinner?
talk- Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay,
get there.
great.
Oh.
Oh.
So then the other one, the more spreadsheet looking document is a start of all the farm stands. Bob, you tricked me, you had Maple Sunday stuff going on, and I didn't even know that you owned a maple farm. So you'll be on there soon. I did promote you on Maple Sunday, but it took me until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon to know you were there, so I apologize. I definitely gave other people more love just because I didn't know. And so I add to that a lot, and a lot of farms have actually called me or reached out to me to be put on that directory. And then a secondary use for that web page is that farmers can go on and sell whatever it is that they're looking to sell, and that's very helpful in our area because we have the food sovereignty law. So a lot of homesteads are selling things that maybe don't have the same ability to do like farm stands 24/7 like other big farms can do. So it's just a way for people to connect, but of course it leaves out a huge group of people that do not use Facebook, which is unfortunate. So
If you can think of ways that I could make flyers or put it in my column or my newsletter,
Sure.
I'm happy to do it.
yeah, I mean, in my heart of hearts, I kind of want like a giant farm kiosk in Davis Park.
That's a great
The
idea.
other thing, that SAB 10, they had a grant,
That's Rumford.
no, I'm 17, it is Rumford,
17.
but I'm talking wrong school, down in
Oxford
Norway.
Hills, 17.
Yeah, and
Got it.
they, I'll try to show you, get one, we did it a few years ago with the Main Harvest Lunch, and it was a map, and so,
Yeah.
and so it was a physical location, and it was really cool, and we had ones that every kid got one.
A map of farms, of
Yeah,
where the
all
farms are.
farms, and then there was activities, so if kids got stamps, when they went to the farm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I know when I was working at Telstar, James Newkirk did his senior project on he made an app, and the app had farms on it, but I never got access to the backside, so I have no idea what it's called, where it's at, how updated it is, or anything like that, but he won an award for it.
Oh, yeah.
So me and him worked together when I was working for the local food connection, and he made this app, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
We should find it.
I know, I should contact him.
I didn't use it.
You know that Lucy's planning to do the farm thing again.
The ag tour,
Yeah.
or an
Oh,
ag tour?
yeah. I think we should give Dave his try, because we have a million other things to talk about, but Dave is so polite, he's not gonna get his turn.
I don't know what to say, really.
Wait, can I do one more thing?
Yeah, do as many.
Sorry. I'm doing these farm-to-table dinners with some of the farmers in town. So I'm doing one with Chapman Brook, one with Morning Glory, one with Howe Family Farm, one with La Firm, and then a secret one that you guys can know about, I guess. I'm doing it with
Won't be secret
Beach-
anymore.
I know, Beach Street Cafe, and also the Cranberry Farm wants to do one. They just contacted me about wanting one because they're like, we like your venues, let me do it here.
So what's it gonna be?
Huh?
How is it gonna work?
So the farm, I mean, it's just a farm-to-table dinner, so essentially at most of the farms, I'm just sourcing everything from that farm or from their surrounding neighbor farms. Chapman Brook, for example, I'm making my own masa and doing I'm like grinding corn. I signed myself up for quite an event there. But,
What is it?
yeah, I know, right? But over there is a nomination form. Local Food Connection has very generously offered to pay for 2 tickets per meal. So I can give,
For people who couldn't otherwise afford it.
yeah,
So if you have someone in your mind that would really,
Love it.
really enjoy this, but they wouldn't be able to afford it.
I'm very excited about the people.
I have like an idea we're doing. Yeah.
So they'll be through the summer is when
Yeah.
they're doing them, and they'll be advertised